All right, also in the news this week is an interesting report from Gartner. Gartner is a leading research and advisory organization. The group recently released rankings of their top 25 supply chain leaders. We linked out to their press release on this topic in Monday's issue of the Quality Digest newsletter. The rankings were calculated through a combination of financial performance, social responsibility measures, and peer as well as internal Gartner assessments of each company's demand-driven value network. Now, also known as DDVN, demand-driven value network. This is a measure of how well the organization controls risks and drives value across its supply chain. The top-ranked organization in this year's survey was Unilever, and the same company took the #1 spot in 2016. Rounding out the top 5 were McDonald's, Inditex, Cisco Systems, and H&M. Gartner also honored 3 companies in their Masters category: Amazon, Apple, and Procter & Gamble. Organizations that have reached master status have achieved, as Gartner calls it, sustained leadership over the last 10 years. Now, there are a few general trends identified by Gartner as pertinent to supply chain management. The first of these is broad and rather political in nature. With the emergence of protectionism here in the United States and parts of Europe, companies are taking proactive steps to make contingency plans in case of changes to trade policy. It makes good sense when you think about supply chains, which are now so complex that, issues of protectionism that we're seeing certainly here in the US and in Europe are going to affect supply chain practices pretty severely. There are also 3 specific best practices that Gartner can recommend as being common attributes among strong supply chain performers. The first of these is digitization of the supply chain. That means the use of IoT sensors, information of things sensors, cloud computing, and advanced analytics. The next one is adaptive organizations and capabilities. In other words, modular supply chain systems that can thrive in almost any circumstance where you have natural disasters or, again, maybe some tariffs or things that may affect the ability to trade freely. You need to be adaptive to deal with that. And finally, it's developing and fostering healthy ecosystems. This comes down to relationship building, ethical sourcing, and understanding the well-being of all stakeholders. And I think that last one represents a pretty good set of ground rules for pretty much any company anywhere doing anything to be ethical and to consider your stakeholders in your broader mission, especially for companies that have a rather large supply chains. So good report there from Gartner. Again, you can check it out in the story right below there on this video player screen. All the stories we're going to be covering on today's show are available right down there as always.